Put on your slippers and fill up your pipe. Lyrics by Edward P. Moran and Will A. Heelan. I've never seen their names anywhere else. Not saying they never wrote anything else. I haven't run into them anywhere. Music by Albert von Tilzer, who I've seen his name many, many times. He had a brother named Harry von Tilzer. And I think there was another brother who was not quite as prolific, whose name I can't remember. Not sure about that. But von Tilzer was not their real last name. They just made that up. Their real last name was Gumm, Gumm. There's a few things in here I looked up so I would know exactly what the song was talking about. In the second stanza, it says she got a chaffing dish or a chafing dish. In this song, it's spelled Chaffing, but I've also seen it spelled with only one F. And I didn't know what this was, but after I looked it up, I realized I have seen them being used. I've eaten at places where they were used. And it's a pan that sits on a little platform with a flame directly under it on the table where you're eating to keep food warm, or even to cook food right there on the table as you're eating it. He bought a soup and fish. When I saw this, I thought maybe it's Cockney rhyming slang, but it's supposed to be an American song. So I looked it up, and it's apparently a slang term of American origin, and it means a man's formal evening wear, like a suit and tie or a tuxedo. The kind of thing you would wear to go out to dinner and eat soup and fish, I guess. I don't know. But that's what it means. He bought a soup and fish. He had it on him several times, but not outside his door. He tried it on, but he was never able to go out wearing it because his wife would never let him leave home. Let's see, the second chorus. Right here, you're a fixture. Get out your old Duke's Mixture. Duke's Mixture was a tobacco that was named after Washington Duke, who was a Civil War veteran who was also a tobacco farmer. And after the war was over, he was on the Confederate side, and he owned a farm, a few hundred acres, pretty big farm, but it had been totally ransacked during the war, and he was broke. So he had a barn with some tobacco in it that was in the process of curing, and he sold the land and then rented back just a small part of it that he could turn into a small farm to make a living with. And he grew tobacco. He sold his original little bit of tobacco that he had curing in the farm, and was able to start a business, and it eventually turned into the American Tobacco Company many years later. Duke's Mixture was his first tobacco product, whatever you call it. He sold it cheap, apparently because he was trying to undercut the very popular Bull Durham, and so it's not completely certain if this is true or not, but people would say that Duke's Mixture was cheap because it was made up of the leftover pieces of tobacco that didn't get used in better quality products like cigars and so forth. But anyway, it was a cheap tobacco. He named it Duke's Mixture, and it was cut for roll your own cigarettes, but often, especially back then, I don't think it really happens much now, but Back then, pipe smokers would use that loose roll your own tobacco like that to load their pipes with also, because it was cheap and easily available. And eventually Duke's Mixture passed into the English language, at least in the United States, as a meaning of a widely varied mix of things, and it could apply to anything, like a sports team that might be a mixture of talented, skilled athletes and others who are not really that talented or skilled, might be, and they're together on the same team, so they might be called a Duke's Mixture. A dog, a mutt that's not of any easily definable breed, could be called a Duke's Mixture, because it's just a mix of all these different breeds, that kind of thing. So it's more of an expression now, but back when this song was written, it was an actual tobacco. When your pipe goes out, smoke your Meccas instead. Mecca was a brand of cigarette. By the time this song was written in 1916, the American Tobacco Company was a large company that sold both Duke's Mixture and Mecca cigarettes. I think that's all I got. So, thank you very much.